Yeah, I'm talking about DeepSeek, the one people are hyping as the ChatGPT killer. Sounds impressive, right? But here's the deal. It's hiding some serious problems. We're talking privacy nightmares, governments stepping in to ban it, and crashes so bad it barely works not even half the time. Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. From hidden dangers to jaw-dropping flaws, we're pulling back the curtain on DeepSeek. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll see it in a completely different way. Alright, so what exactly is DeepSeek? Let me break it down for you. DeepSeek is this new AI chatbot that came out of China, and from the get-go, it's been making waves. The developers are claiming that it can even outperform ChatGPT, but at a fraction of the cost. Sounds like a game changer, right? And honestly, a lot of people think it might be the future of AI. It's fast, it's cheap, and on paper, it looks impressive. But here's where things get interesting. When DeepSeek hit the scene, it didn't just make headlines. It shook up entire markets. Like, literally. Investors started panicking because of how much attention DeepSeek was getting. We're talking about a $1 trillion sell-off in the AI market. That's not pocket change. That's a full-blown tech earthquake. And then there's the bigger picture. Some experts see DeepSeek as more than just an AI model. They see it as China flexing its muscles in the global AI race. Think about it. If China can roll out something this advanced, this quickly, it sends a pretty clear message. They're not just playing catch-up anymore, they're aiming to lead the pack. So yeah, DeepSeek isn't just an AI tool, it's become a symbol of where the future of AI might be heading. But here's where things get really concerning. When you use DeepSeek, where does your data actually go? Spoiler alert, it doesn't stay private for long. DeepSeek stores all user interactions on servers located in China. Now, why does that matter? Well, China has some of the strictest surveillance laws in the world. Under their cybersecurity regulations, companies can be forced to hand over user data to the government if asked. And no, this isn't just speculation, it's a very real concern. In fact, the US Navy has already banned its members from using DeepSeek because of these exact security fears. But wait, it gets worse. It's not just the US Navy sounding the alarm. Countries like Italy, South Korea, and Taiwan are now investigating DeepSeek's data policies. They're asking tough questions about how safe or unsafe it is to use this tool. If you're typing sensitive information into DeepSeek, whether it's personal details or work-related stuff, there's a good chance it's being stored somewhere you wouldn't want it to be. And here's the kicker. If you're using DeepSeek, your personal data might not just be sitting idle. There's a real possibility it could end up in the wrong hands. So think about it. Every question you ask, every conversation you have with this AI, it's potentially being tracked, stored, and maybe even shared without your knowledge. Now, here's where things get even more unsettling. DeepSeek isn't just collecting your data, it's also controlling what you learn. Users have started noticing that when they ask DeepSeek certain questions, especially ones related to politically sensitive topics like China, Tiananmen Square, or Taiwan, the answers either come back vague, incomplete, or flat out refused. It's not a technical glitch, it's by design. Unlike ChatGPT, which operates with fewer restrictions, DeepSeek follows strict rules set by the Chinese government. So if the topic is even remotely controversial in China, don't expect DeepSeek to give you a straight answer. Now, why does this matter? Think about it. AI chatbots are becoming a go-to source for information. They shape how people think, what they believe, and even how they understand the world. If an AI is censoring certain topics, it's not just withholding information, it's actively distorting reality, and that opens the door to something really dangerous: AI-driven propaganda. Imagine relying on an AI to teach you about history, politics, or global events, only to find out later that half the story was missing, or worse, rewritten. This isn't just about one country's policies anymore. It's about the kind of AI tools we're letting into our lives, and whether they're truly helping us or controlling us. A censored AI doesn't just limit knowledge, it shapes perceptions, influences opinions, and ultimately controls the narrative. But it's not just about security and censorship. DeepSeek's performance is another disaster. That's not an exaggeration. That's a direct quote from frustrated users. Crashes, slow responses, answers that don't make sense. It's like using an AI chatbot built in 2015, not 2025. Imagine trying to get work done or solve a problem only to have the tool you're relying on fail you every step of the way. It's maddening. So why is DeepSeek so unreliable? Well, unlike OpenAI's GPT-4o, which has massive infrastructure backing it up, DeepSeek just doesn't seem ready for large-scale usage. Some experts think it might even be dealing with cyber attacks, given its high-profile status. Others suggest it's simply suffering from poor optimization, like they rushed it out the door without making sure it could actually handle real-world demand. Either way, the result is the same: an AI that's slow, buggy, and basically unusable for most people. And here's the kicker. If you're paying for this kind of service, how does that even make sense? You'd expect something marketed as the ChatGPT killer to at least work, right? But instead, users users are left wondering if DeepSeek was ever ready for prime time in the first place. Now, let's zoom out for a second and talk about the bigger picture, how DeepSeek shook up the AI industry, because this isn't just about one chatbot, it's about what it represents for the global AI race. When DeepSeek launched, it sent shockwaves through the market. NVIDIA, the company behind some of the most powerful AI chips in the world, saw its stock drop by billions. Why? Because investors panicked. They looked at DeepSeek's low cost and thought, oh no, cheaper Chinese AI models are going to take over the US market. It was like a tech world earthquake. Everyone was scrambling to figure out what this meant for the future. But here's the thing, not everyone is convinced the panic is justified. Experts like Meta's AI chief, Yann LeCun, have come out saying the hype around DeepSeek might be overblown. Sure, it's cheap to train, but when you look at its real-world performance, it's nowhere near the level of something like ChatGPT. Remember all those crashes, slow responses, and censored answers we talked about earlier? Yeah, that's not exactly a recipe for dominating the AI market. So while DeepSeek might have spooked investors for a moment, the reality check is this. Being cheap to build doesn't automatically make you competitive. If an AI can't deliver reliable, high-quality results, it's not going to win the long game. So where do the experts stand on DeepSeek? Well, like most things in tech, opinions are split. On one side, you've got people who think DeepSeek's open source approach could actually revolutionize AI. They argue that by making advanced AI tools more accessible and affordable, it could lower barriers for developers worldwide. Imagine a world where smaller companies or independent creators can build their own AI solutions without needing millions in funding. That's the dream some see in DeepSeek. But then there's the other side of the debate, the skeptics. And honestly, they make some pretty strong points. They warn that DeepSeek's security risks, censorship issues, and poor performance outweigh any potential benefits. Sure, it might be cheap and open source, but if it compromises your privacy or feeds you censored information, is it really worth it? For many, the answer is a hard no. Now, let's zoom out even further and talk about what this means for the future of AI competition. Will DeepSeek push companies like OpenAI and Google to step up their game? Could it spark a new wave of innovation where everyone's racing to build faster, smarter, and safer AI models? Or, this is a big or, will DeepSeek end up being just another failed experiment? A cautionary tale of what happens when you rush to market without solving the basics, like reliability and trust. The truth is, we don't know yet. But one thing's for sure, the decisions made today by users, developers, and governments will shape how AI evolves tomorrow. Will we prioritize openness and affordability, or will security and performance remain king? That's the million-dollar question. All right, let's recap what we've uncovered about DeepSeek. First up, security and privacy. If you're using DeepSeek, your data might not be as safe as you think. It's stored on servers in China, where strict surveillance laws mean your information could end up in places you didn't intend. Next, censorship. DeepSeek isn't just an AI chatbot. It's controlling what you see and learn, especially when it comes to politically sensitive topics. And finally, performance issues. Slow responses, constant crashes, and unreliable answers make it frustrating to use. Honestly, it feels like a step backward, not forward. So, is DeepSeek the ChatGPT killer everyone thought it would be? Not even close. If you value privacy, speed, and unbiased information, DeepSeek probably isn't the right tool for you. Sure, it's cheap and has potential, but the risks and flaws are just too big to ignore. So, what you think about DeepSeek, will you trust it? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.